Hey, Creations by Courtney here with a Tunisian crochet related video. And I say it like that because I'm going to show you a few things, but it's not necessarily your traditional tutorial video, okay? Because I've been listening to my crochet besties and others who are new to crochet, or they tried it didn't quite work out, and they really want to get it this time. So this video is for you. Yes, you. I'm going to go over some common mistakes and frustrations that people experience that are new to Tunisian crochet. That way you can get started with the most confidence possible and you can jump into that first project sooner than later. All right, grab some yarn and a hook if you want to practice along, and if not, maybe take some notes or visit the link that's down below in the description where I have a blog post with 8 tips that are going to make Tunisian crochet easier, as well as an awesome Tunisian crochet success starter kit. All right, let's get to it. First up, let's talk about hook size. Now, there are things in life in which size does not matter. When it comes to Tunisian crochet, it does. Here I have 2 examples for you. Both of these are worsted weight yarn, and I use 2 different hook sizes. Okay, can you, like, seriously, same weight yarn, same yarn company. Okay, just to let you know that this is not an optical illusion in which I use a thinner yarn. So for this swatch, I use a 6.5 millimeter, and this one I used a 4.5. Now, on the yarn label, it says an I through a K. So technically, this is on the upper end of it, but look at the difference. Look at that. And if I remove the hooks, just look at it. It's so cute. This one's cute too, but look at the difference. This one is so stiff. I wish you could reach in and feel the difference. Now, if you need to be super solid, look, the lack of stretch or space compared to this one, it has more movement. And Tunisian crochet in general is just a denser technique, creates a denser fabric. So this is why hook size matters. Go up in size. And just to show you the difference. Now, admittedly, this is a very smooth aluminum hook, and this is a very smooth worsted yarn, but just look at how itty bitty those little loops are, right? Compared to using a larger hook, just look at how smooth that is. This is a lot less effort, okay? So, yes, hook size matters. Always go up. It usually 2 sizes larger than what's recommended, okay? All right, next frustration is the tension. Do I need to go over this again? Look how tight this is, right? But even when you're working with a larger hook, the tension does make a difference. So are you a yanker, a rider, or a lifter, right? So riding, that's right on top. Yanker, pull down. Lifter, just like so. So if you find that it is a bit tough to work into that vertical bar when you pull up a loop, maybe just angle it just a little bit. You don't have to be a full lifter like that, but just a little bit. And this can loosen up your tension to make a huge difference in how stiff or not your fabric is. Because drape is often the goal in many things that we make. Right? Now, if you're making certain home decor or say a bag or a basket, then you want it stiff. And then maybe it makes sense in that case to go down in hook size if, say, you are going to use Tunisian simple stitch for such an item. But yeah, be mindful of your tension. Another common frustration is choosing yarn, okay? So you've seen these 2 colors, right? It's really easy to see the vertical bars, right? Especially here, it makes it easy to see where you're going to start your hook. Now, here's the variegated. This is not the worst. I decided to be nice on y'all and not find the craziest variegated yarn that I had in my stash. But this one is kind of like a speckle, and it's a little harder, right? Luckily, there's enough white and just spots of purple that you can still see. But the colors, I mean, look at comparison. It's just not as clear, the stitch definition. So when you choose your yarn, you want something that is smooth. You don't want something fuzzy, right? Because if you have to frog with anything, standard crochet or Tunisian, it's just going to catch and tangle, and it's going to be a pain in the patootie. So you want to start with a smooth, solid color, not variegated. Save your eyes. All right, on to another one. Okay, this one is one that you don't always notice, and it references this edge along the start of the row, right? Can you see just that fast the difference? It's subtle, but you might catch it. These look looser than these because they likely are. And you might see it if you fold it in half. Do you see that? The starting edge is a little taller than the end. Why? When we start our return pass and make that chain 1, it naturally pulls this loop down a little bit. That is just the nature of crochet. And then when we're on our forward pass, this loop is sitting out, hanging on, right? It's just doing all of this as you work across the row, right? It's just hanging on for dear life. And so it tends to loosen. So an easy, quick fix to adjust your edges, right? So that it's even and it's not slightly off on that top edge. Is just tighten this loop. Just like that. I usually do too. And I just pull so that it is snug against it. Now, I'm not saying yank, 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 so it's super tight like that. No, not at all, right? Let me readjust that. But just pull or down on the loop and then pull the next one and then pull with the working yarn. And this keeps the loops more consistent. That way, when you make your forward pass, this edge won't be too much taller than the other one. And then when you get to your end stitch, as I was saying before, that I tend to lift. That way it's taller or looser. Can you see that? How this one looks taller than there. I tend to lift on that end stitch. I pinch to hold it in place, make my chain 1, right? I use a very loose hand when I yarn over. I like to hold this in place so that I can yarn over and pull through too. Because once you get it through there, it's less likely to slide at all or very, very minimally. And then just continue your return pass. And as you can see, this one looks a little taller than the other. And that helps keep nice, crisp, even edges. Okay? And if you watched the previous videos, and if not, those are linked below, okay? Starting you out on the Tunisian simple stitch and then how to keep those edges nice and neat. Practice with a small swatch. This is 8 stitches. You can even do 5 if you wanted to. You do not need to start with 15 or even 30 unless you want to. You can literally start with small swatches. It could be this small, but again, this is with a tiny hook. For the yarn and for the technique, it does not have to be big to get started so that you can practice and learn the parts of the stitch. And if you want to know the parts of the stitch, make sure you head down to the link in the description below this video where you can access the free Tunisian Crochet Starter Success Kit. I put it together based on the things I've heard from crochet besties over the years around getting started with Tunisian crochet as a quick guide so that you know how to start confidently and successfully. All right. And last but not least, let's talk about the tip of the hook. Okay. Do you see this? Nice and pointy. Did you see how easy it glides in? Go for pointy. And all options, go for pointy. You can do rounded, it will work, but pointy makes it so much easier. It is just less effort versus if it's rounded. What I notice in my experience, and maybe you have something different, I have to angle the hook down a little bit more to get the hook through if it's rounded versus pointy. So pointy is the way to go. Okay? Just trust me. If you don't believe me, make 2 swatches with a rounded and a pointy. And most hooks, even if you're starting with a straight hook like this one, again, you do not need an Afghan hook or interchangeable set yet when you're still learning. Most of our hooks they have a little bit of a point anyways, so this is perfectly fine to get started. Now, if you have questions about any of this, make sure you ask those down below in the comments and I will get back to you. I hope to see you somewhere on the internet and possibly in person. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so that you're notified of future videos. Keep stitching.